I'm so excited to be sitting down with one of my favorite dudes in the industry. Chris Yancey is not only a designer and builder himself, he is also the founder and the inventor of what is known as Perma Edge. Thank you so much for being with us, Chris.
Thanks, Dan.
It is always a pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, you've been one of my favorites since I met you about 6-7 years ago. One-man crew, Unilock contractor event, and I was just drawn to you from the beginning. The vision and the things you were doing were just amazing. I love to see what you've brought to the table for the whole industry.
I think passion is our common denominator, right?
Yeah,
and I think,
sums it up.
Yeah, passion is our common denominator. Chris has a vested interest in growing the industry as well. Chris was the inventor of Perma Edge, like I said. Let's talk about a little bit about that. Your background, though. You own your own design and build company still today.
Yeah, about 33 years. Started lightly at 18, worked for a company, formed a business in my early 20s, into my late 20s, and then started my company 20 years, 2004. We got kind of large, 12 employees at one point, and I realized I didn't like that. So now I've got 3 or 4 guys on my crew, and that's where my passion is. I love the design and build. A lot of time in the office now, so the days that I get to spend with my crew are the best days, and I have amazing guys. Couldn't do any of it without them. I mean, got a guy that's been with me 16 years.
Oh, I love it.
Got a guy over here that's been with me about 5 or 6 years, and couldn't do any of it without them. Couldn't do Perma Edge,
Right. So having your own teams in the field and doing your own installations is kind of what led you to this founding and inventing a Perma Edge, correct?
You nailed it. Got sick of spiked edgings. I was doing everything right, by the book, even beyond what the book said, and that was my biggest pet peeve coming back to those projects, 2, 3, 4 years later, and seeing that edging sticking up, and it's letting your bedding layer out. And did a short course at Ohio State, ran into a guy that was using concrete. So I used concrete, and I thought that was a little better, but had its pitfalls, and that's what drove me to develop something more permeable, more flexible, made specifically for a paver edging, not just concrete.
I think a lot of this came when we started using open graded base. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes and no. The timing just was fate, because I was already disappointed on dense base with sand. And right around that time, once I got through the testing phase, open graded started making this big run. I thought, well, it works even better on open graded base.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Whenever I post a reel, I love promoting Chris's product, but I hate how everyone thinks it's concrete. There's a difference, and what's that difference?
Yeah. One of the biggest ones is the non-porous aggregates we use. All concretes are made of 80% aggregate. The aggregate in Perma Edge is non-porous. It won't absorb water. So not only is the product permeable and flexible with the fibers, chemical air entrainment, there's 3 admixtures that make it more flexible, more permeable than regular concrete. But then you throw the aggregates on top, and that's why we're a little pricier as well, because those aggregates are 10x just your pea gravel and sand that goes in normal concrete. So big benefits.
It's setting our projects up for success. When I started using it, it's the same reason you did. It's the same thing. It's like I'm putting together, I feel like, creative masterpieces sometime, and then I'm putting plastic edge restraint around that. Like, It didn't even make sense, but it's the only thing that I knew for the majority of my career.
Yeah.
I hooked up with Chris at like you said, at a Unilock contractor seminar. I think it was probably 7 or 8 years ago now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And I seen you preaching about it up there, and I could tell the passion right away. But I'm such an old school guy that I did not jump right away. You know that. I've been honest about that.
I respected the hell out of that.
I
respected the hell out of that.
But then it didn't take me too long, guys. I think I was maybe 1 or 2 years later, I was putting in a vehicular application, and that down in Knoxville. And that was the first time I used Perma Edge, because I wanted to have that added edge restraint on the outside, and I wanted to sandwich that drive grid in between there to hold my border in. Perma Edge was the product I went to for that vehicular application. Now I use it on every single project that I put in the ground, and I'm promoting it in the herd and trying to get all of our members to do it, because it sets your project up for success.
Absolutely. Right? And it's 1 to 2.5% of your project cost. I want to back up a little bit to when we met. I really, you and there's a few, quite a few others, but it really means so much more when you organically use a product. You, like you said, you didn't come right away. It was a year and a half, 2 years later. I got a message from you on Instagram, like, "Hey, man, I love your product," but it took you that amount of time. And so I think it speaks volumes about what you're doing, some of the products you're promoting. It's not about the sponsors all the time. You're pushing things in the hardscape industry that work, that you believe in. And to me, I just wanted to go back on that because that says volumes about all of us.
Oh, thank you so
much.
much.
I've had several others. I've had a real high-up guy at Unilock, same thing. I always tell the story how it almost made or broke me back in the day about them becoming a dealer is – they kind of shot me down at first, but then once they used it and realized it just means that much more when someone actually believes in it.
The proof is in the pudding. No, the proof is in the Perma Edge.
Yeah.
And I love and I love how you said how organically I use it, and that's really how I feel about everybody that we try to bring on board with us and the resources we try to give back to the herd.
Right.
I firmly believe in them. I firmly believe that they take my personal projects to the next level. I have experience in using them. That's why we are willing to promote them, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's just like everyone I sit down in with this booth, when we can sit down with the face and the owner, and everyone knows the face and the owner of the company, that's going to make that company be even more successful too, right? You're a man of the people. You're going to walk around this show and everyone's going to know who you are. I love that.
That humbles me. It took me a while to accept that. And I think you and I are similar in that way from the talks we've had. Is you from the day I saw your work, I was just blown away. The pictures and the projects and the videos you were doing. And I was like, man, is this the same guy that I met? You were just so humble. And it was weird because I just didn't associate that at the time. But I think that speaks volumes about you that we just we are who we are. And you and Luke are our Hardscape mentor. I mean, you're what makes it. It's you. If you pulled you out of it, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. It all just comes down to passion. We knew this was our passion, 20, 30 years ago, Chris, and here we are today just doing something else with our passion. So
yeah.
So I heard you got a little, maybe some new things coming with Perma Edge.
We do, Dan. Really excited. I can't say a lot about it right now, but we want to let everyone know, and this is the first time I've even spoke about it, we've done a lot of testing for the past year. And so we got some really cool things coming out. Our passion is hardscape, but edge restraints, right? That's my thing. And as you know, we brought this to the market, pride ourselves on having the best product, but there's been a lot of other companies. It's kind of how the industry goes. So we want to make sure that we're on top of it, that we're offering the best product at the best value. So we've got something really exciting. We're not really going to release till we get closer to 2025. And it's going to be quality and value, and I think it's really going to change things for all of us.
I love it, man. That is super exciting. From a man who has already been an innovator in our industry, it sounds like he is moving the needle again with another innovation. I love it, man. And Hardscape Mentor is going to be right there behind you.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah, and actually, you and I spoke a little bit, with your new facility, timing-wise. I would like the Hardscape mentors to be the first to hear about it when we release.
I love it. We're going to be right there behind you, Chris. We're all about moving the industry forward. This man has been doing that ever since he started Perma Edge. Thank you so much for sitting down with us, man. A little bit different take this year. You get to walk around and network with people.
It is. I'm excited, and I'm humbled to be here, and I'm really happy that you had me on to be a part of this.
We love having partners like you who are just real guys from the industry who have been doing this for a long time, and we know what this industry needs, and we know what these young contractors need, and we're in it together, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.